Picture it, Los Angeles, 2024.
Oh, welcome to Out on the Lanai, the only Golden Girls podcast you're ever going to need to listen to. Who am I? It's silent. No one's responding. Oh, I'm HAlanScott / Sadie Pines.
Someone responded.
Someone.
I'm Kerri Doherty, and today we're doing another Golden Rewind, where we go back and rewatch our favorite episodes of The Golden Girls and offer new insights since we first started breaking down these episodes way back in 2014, a whole decade ago.
Wow.
And it's time to do your best Dorothy impression as you sing Help. Because the sky is falling, and we just rewatched season 6, episode 26, Henny Penny Straight No Chaser. Do you know where the Straight No Chaser comes from?
Well, I know the term, like, you know, the bar term, straight no chaser, like, you know, you're talking to a bartender, but no, I don't know where it comes from in the episode. No.
Like, I don't know, because sometimes they'll do like a little winky play on something.
Yeah.
You know, like Mary had a little lamb, wink, it's because she's pregnant. So,
Yeah.
But this, I'm like, what is Straight No Chaser? Is it because grown-ups are doing Henny Penny, and so they wanted to reference alcohol?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. No, I don't know. I really don't know. That's
Or
such
is
a
it one of
strange.
those-
You're right. I never even thought about that.
Because we call it Henny Penny. We just call it Henny Penny. But then
It's
when
just Henny Penny.
but it's Henny Penny Straight No Chaser. Because I remember when Stan Zimmerman told us that like Ebb Tide, the Wrath of Stan, he's like, that was literally just something so random that we made up, was like the Ebb Tide's revenge of it all. So I wonder if it's one of those, but
Maybe it's a writer's room joke that they were just like, well, no one looks at the show titles anyway.
I don't know. They're in season 6 by then. If anybody knows, if they're like, oh, you idiots, it's just from a song in the 1920s.
I know.
Just like, let us know. Let us know.
What if it's so obvious and everyone listening is like, oh my God!
Maybe. Maybe.
Oh God, so fun. Now I chose this episode because it's the one thing that makes me angry about the Golden Girls. There's not many things, but the one thing that makes me angry is that there is not a Halloween episode. And I know we've talked about it on the podcast before, Halloween episodes on television really did not become a thing. There was one on Kate and Allie, if I remember. There was a Cosby Show one, but it really did not become a thing, like a tradition thing, really until Roseanne started doing it. And then it became like a thing on Mini. And then, of course, The Office, and so many shows have done it since. But that said, I still want a Golden Girls Halloween episode. I don't care if it wasn't a thing. They could have made it a thing. I mean, 4 women living together on a TV show wasn't a thing, and they made it a thing.
I think for the rest of this month, we should just dedicate either doing rewinds where like the women are dressed up like cats for production of Cats, or if we find projects that they've done where, like, remember that episode, that movie, that TV movie where Rue was a witch? We watched that.
That was fun.
We'll find something Halloween themed. We sure will. We sure will.
I love Halloween. This, like, from starting October 1st until the end of the year, really until early January, my favorite time of year on every level. On weather-wise, even though in California it can sometimes be crazy hot, like clothing-wise, the whole theme, the vibe, streaming. Oh my God, I love when the streaming services switch over to like Halloween curated lists or Christmas holiday curated lists. I love festivities. I think it's because it's so campy. They're all so campy that I get off on it, and it's very exciting. So yeah, we need to figure out a way to have each episode this month be somewhat Halloween adjacent.
Adjacent, I think, is a good way to describe it. I also want to say and let everybody know that we're thinking of all of our listeners down in Florida right now.
Oh my
with Hurricane
God.
Milton happening. You are
and
in all of our
everyone
thoughts.
in North
We hope
Carolina
you're all safe.
too. I mean, everyone after Helene.
South Carolina. Oh my God.
Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just like, it is so scary what's happening. So please, I mean, this is going to go out, right? I think we're in the next hurricane is supposed to hit. So if you're listening to this, stop listening and leave. But like it's wild what's going on. It is so scary. Climate change is real. This is not political. That is a fact. And please go be safe. Be very safe, because it is. I mean, just seeing some of the stuff on TV, and every time I see Florida with a hurricane, I do think of the girls. I think of the girls, and I think of, like, you know, them going to the shelter or whatever it was, the gymnasium. Like, I mean, it's like, it's scary. Hurricanes seem scary.
Yeah.
Oh, I've only been in tornadoes and earthquakes. I've never been in a hurricane. No, I've never
Yeah,
been in a
hurricanes
hurricane.
are scary. They're very scary. So we're thinking of all of you. And if you are home, hunkered down, and if you have power,
Yeah.
we hope that just talking about the Golden Girls for a little while today will help take your mind off of
Yeah.
everything going on
And we're
outside.
sending you love, so much love and safety. Yeah. Oh, too much.
Do you want to talk about the sign up for our live show? That's
Yes.
something exciting
Yes.
that's coming
So,
up.
well, we can do two things in one here. So, like, obviously, go become a GG VIP member over on the Patreon because we're a fun fan club over there and we do fun things and we like to have fun. Who doesn't love to have fun? And so you can subscribe at two different levels. But over on the Patreon, which you can get at patreon.com/Golden Girls Podcast, or you can just go to HAlanScott.com and it'll take you there as well. There's a pin post for the sign up for our holiday show here in Los Angeles on December 7th at Dynasty Typewriter. You can sign up to be the first to know about our holiday show. We are plotting fun things for this one. I was thinking of my number. I'm meeting with someone tomorrow about a potential number for the show. So yeah, so there are things being plotted for this show. It is going to be so much fun. And I want to stress that we intentionally did this show on a Saturday afternoon. It's in a late afternoon. It's a matinee showing, primarily because the biggest thing that I got from people during our last sold out show at Dynasty Typewriter was Sunday nights were hard, particularly for people who wanted to come in from out of town,
Right.
because obviously they have to go to work the next day. And the holidays are a crazy time anyway, and there's lots of travel and stuff. So we wanted to make it easier for everyone if you wanted to drive in so that you could easily drive back to wherever you need to go to for the next work week. So it's going to be great. Come. We want you dressed up in any sort of holiday Golden Girls attire things you want. There will be fun things happening. We'll have a costume contest. I know it. We haven't talked about it, but I just made it happen. And we'll have lots of fun things going on. So it's just a fun show. You're going to love it. December 7th at Dynasty Typewriter here in Los Angeles.
Yes, yes. That was a really, really great pitch for the show. I'm very excited. I have a little something to talk about offline afterwards.
Outfits.
We're
plotting outfits.
We're so excited.
My God.
Also, in the GG VIP Club today over on Patreon, you're getting another bonus Rusty Anchor happy hour this week because the women talk about spring break in Henny Penny. This week, we're breaking down our favorite spring break video clips, whatever that means to us. Plus,
what Kerri did to my Google search history, to my YouTube algorithm with this request for spring break stuff. There's lots of male nudity in my browser history now because of Kerri, Doherty, Bush.
Golden Girls Gone Wild. That's what we're doing this week. We're talking about what the four women also would have done on a proper spring break down at the beach. So that's what's going on in the GG VIP Club this week.
The possibilities are endless for what the girls would do on spring break. I mean, one of them's pretty obvious, but like,
I know.
wow.
Everybody right now, just picture any of the girls. Picture one that you wouldn't have even thought of, and picture that person at spring break, and what kind of crazy stuff would they get into? I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I wrote mine out like I was doing like a character pitch for a TV show. I was like, this is exactly what would happen to these four women at spring break.
Wow. Yeah, no, I didn't write mine out, but I have mine. My suggestion, go to the Patreon. It's going to be a fun one today. It's just going to be a stupid fun one. But this episode, Henny Penny, I mean, obviously this is a classic. Obviously this is one of my things that I want to do one day is have the four of us, me, you, Alaska, and Elliot, do a Henny Penny situation in which we reenact it in some capacity. Who knows when we can do that.
Who would you want to be? Which costume do you like the most?
Well, I think Blanche's would suit me better. I think aesthetically, I think I would look better in that. I hear little Oreo, and I love it.
She's looking for the moon out the window. Hold on, I'll see if you guys can hear her. Hold on. She said, "Whoa, we found the moon."
You want to know something funny?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you told her what?
Hi, honey. You found the moon. That's awesome, baby. Yay, we've been looking for it every night. Good job. Good night. I love you.
10 years, guys. 10 years, and we have a child on the podcast for the first time.
Night-night, baby. I love you.
Night-night. Wait, what'd you tell her?
I just told her I love you. So I'm in the loft above our bedroom. We've got like these like giant 20-foot ceilings.
You live in a mansion, yes.
But I do have a loft. And every night you and I are recording a little earlier than we normally do. So Stan's putting her down to bed tonight. But every night she and I, after Tubby, she pees, she brushes her teeth, she does all that. She gets dressed. We go into our room because you can see the moon out our window. And every night for the last like week and a half, we go out and it's cloudy. Just the moon is not, we can't see it. And so I told Stan, I said, she's going to want to come look out the window. And he's like, but you're recording. And I was like, no, it's fine. I said, just look for the moon. Yeah. And so I guess tonight she found the moon. So she was really excited because we've been looking out the window every night.
You should have very quietly turned around to her and said, honey, the sky is falling. Help.
She can't see me. She's going, Mom, where are you? Because I'm up so high.
No, you want to know a fun fact? Fun fact about a GGVIP here involving the moon. Elliot Glazer is terrified of the moon.
Oh yeah, we talked. Oh, that's right. We talked about this. Did we talk about it in our anniversary show, or was it afterwards?
Did we? Maybe we did. I don't know. Well, maybe new for some, old information for others. Elliot Glazer's terrified of the moon, so please send him pictures of the moon.
You know what though? Okay, I'm going to defend Elliot, our good friend Elliot, for a second. Elliot said he's afraid of the moon when it's really close and you can like see shit. And you know what? I get it. When the moon is really far away, like the sun is so bright, you can't stare at it. It's really far away. Sometimes, don't you think sometimes when that moon is so big, you're like, oh, I can like see a person on there. I think it's actually a little scary.
You know what's scarier? When a rogue Costco employee comes into your face and asks you if you want to try a sample and they got pores the size of Mars, that's the moon on Earth. Up in the sky, it being visible is not scary.
Why are you invalidating Elliot's fears?
Because I love making fun of him. He also refuses to call the shirts he wears crop tops when they are in fact crop tops.
I can't.
He calls them. What does he call them? He calls them.
Sorry,
he calls them box cut shirt. And I'm like, dude, that is just a heteronormative, bro-y way of not wanting to call it a crop top when it's a crop top.
Oh, Elliot, I love you. I'm so sorry.
I love you too.
I tried, Elliot. Okay. Wait, we were talking about Henny Penny and who we would dress up as, and so you think
I would be
the
Blanche. I think the yellow and the white would just look very good on me.
I agree. I think it would too.
With the red hair, you know what I mean? It's like a thing.
I think you in feathers, those feathers.
I have a picture of me in feathers that we could somewhere. Yes.
Yeah, I think I would like the Henny Penny outfit. I really like.
You want to be the star.
I really like the way that looks. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter which one is the star.
You got a mansion. You want to be the star.
I want to be the star. So yeah, I think I like the Henny Penny one.
I also feel like, yes, I think visually you would look good in the Henny Penny costume, but I also feel very strongly that you would be an amazing narrator, like an amazing narrator.
Oh
like,
yeah.
You would keep the show going. Whereas I'll be real, really just myself would not be on book. I would be funny and I'll be cute, but I would not be professional. And Alaska would be very professional. Elliot would be uncomfortable. And shy. And I would be funny, silly, slapsticky, probably talking to people in the audience when I shouldn't be because there's a show going on. And then you would be like, back to the show, you idiot. Get on book.
Yeah. Did you also notice when Sophia came out, did you notice she had on like knee-high green boots with like a heel?
Am I a homosexual? Did I notice? Of course. Of course. Of course. What do you think? That was like when I was a child. I was like, I want those boots. Like
boots.
Those boots.
I was like, damn, I don't think I've ever seen Sophia in knee-high boots with a heel.
This is the thing I love about Estelle Getty, and this is the thing that I think I will be when I am her age, at that age, because I love makeup. I love fun, frilly things. I love excess. I love all of those things. Not necessarily in my style, but if I have the opportunity. Like a friend recently texted me because I posted a thing about Miss Piggy. and Kate, I'll get to a point. It'll make sense in a minute. But Kate Spade has a new, like, her line, the late Kate Spade, but the line Kate Spade has a new Muppets line where and they don't have a Miss Piggy bag. Now, they've had a Miss Piggy bag in the past, but I feel strongly that if you are a purse company and you are putting out Muppets themed apparel, you have to have always, every collection, a dedicated Miss Piggy bag. I feel very strongly about this. And so I made a video about it, saying such things. And then my good friend Kim texted me being like, so are you a Miss Piggy fan? After all of that, because I did a reel and everyone was talking, yeah, whatever. And I was like, duh. And she has these Miss Piggy shoes that she can't wear, like heels, that I then am going to be the owner of very soon. So, like,
yay.
My point is that, yes, I like frilly, fun, crazy, stupid things. Even though I would never wear it, I sometimes just wanted to have to look at it and stuff. And I feel like Estelle Getty was in that same boat. She loved being famous. She loved, she came back second season with that facelift. Her hair was colored. Like, she always looked put together and beautiful and, like, together. She loved gay men around her. That's my future.
She was a sexy Peter Pan.
Yes. 1,000%. 1,000. Well, should we get into the episode? Because I feel like
we do have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, so let's take a break.
And we're back talking about Henny Penny, Straight No Chaser. It is spring break in
you need a chaser
Florida.
When you take shots?
I don't really take shots, but probably, yeah.
I don't.
Wow. Look at you.
I'm a German through and through. You know
sure,
what I mean?
I believe it.
I can take alcohol. I don't drink alcohol because of, life and problems and things. I do sometimes, occasionally, but, like, I'm very, 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 very rarely. But when I do, watch out, because she's
You
ready.
can hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the episode. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. So it's spring break. Everybody's so excited, Blanche especially, because she needs new t-shirts for the wet t-shirt contest.
Oh my God,
Blanche.
Love this. I love a wet t-shirt contest.
You know what? I love a wet t-shirt contest too. There is something about
What's not to love?
There is something about a tight high pair of fake tits, and a tight t-shirt that just,
I'm gonna back this up.
You're gonna back this up
because, yes, I agree. There is nothing better than, they don't even have to be high. A pair of boobies, whatever they are, in a wet t-shirt. If you're owning it, those boobs are the best boobs in the world. But I will also add into this a gentleman in a pair of boxer briefs. Boxer briefs. They can't be briefs and they can't be boxers. They have to be boxer briefs. In a wet underwear contest. Game changer. Game changer. And it will give you everything you need for like an hour and a half.
I don't know that I've ever seen a wet underwear contest before.
Clearly, you've never been to a gay bar on a popular Thursday night.
I haven't. Take me. Someone please take me. Well,
there was a bar here that would do things called VPL, and it was exactly that. They would just get wet
well,
in
see,
underwear.
I do know what that means. I know some things.
Yeah.
Well, Dorothy's excited. I love that it's so Blanche about the wet t-shirt contest. And of course, when Dorothy gets really, really getting excited about something, it can only be school related or because an old crush is in town. She is so excited because her school has an initiative to get kids to read by putting on plays based on popular children's stories.
I would get off to this so hard. I mean, every single year, I get asked to do like for my synagogue to do like the little kiddie plays stuff or whatever. I rarely ever have the time, but I think like these are the things I can get off on. I'm not necessarily a kid person. However, you get me in a situation where I can make it a fun show and somehow throw in a reference to like the Housewives and a little kid show. I'm there.
Just be careful putting the words "I can get off on" and little kids in the same thought.
You went there, not me. You went there, not me. I'm just saying for the record. For the record, authorities. That was Kerri Doherty initiated. Kerri Doherty Bush. Message me for her address.
Oh my goodness. Well, Dorothy is you in this situation because she was just made producer of the first grade production, and they're doing Henny Penny, and she is so like
excited.
It's so Dorothy.
I would be too.
I'm a producer of the show. Like this is Dorothy's Broadway dream happening.
Fun.
And so I feel like this is such an iconic Blanche moment where where Blanche talks about how Henny Penny was never one of her favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we play that clip?
Yes, we should.
That was never one of my favorites. There's no prince in it. I like a fairy tale with a nice prince in it. A handsome prince with a big old codpiece and deep dark eyes. Powerful thighs and muscles rippling beneath his tunic.
Blanche, you could get aroused by Humpty Dumpty.
Like the word, or 2 words. Is it 2 words or is it 1? Codpiece.
I think 1.
Wow. What a combination of words, if it is 1 or 2. I don't know. But just the word codpiece would make me do a double take in a sentence. It would make me go, what'd you say?
Yeah, like because it does seem suggestive.
Yes, of course it does.
As someone who loves to eat white flaky fish, I just go to like, oh, that's a good piece of cod. Like that's a good piece of tilapia, you know?
Oh, that also could be a reference too, though, if you think about it. Hey, that's a good piece of tilapia. Like you could like.
It sounds like jalopy. It sounds like an old.
It's
shitty
like
car.
It's like what's his name in Grumpier Old Men 2 or whatever. You know, you want a piece of my man-sized manicotti. Like it's like if you put certain words together, like tilapia. There's a drag queen on Drag Race that does something with tilapia, and it's so suggestive and fun. And it's like, it's just you could have fun with those. Are fun words. Codpiece is also one of those words.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they didn't want to call it a cock piece or like.
Well, I don't think it is called that. It is actually called a cod piece.
It's called a cod piece. Yeah. It's a jock strap, but it's a theater nerd strap. Right?
Here's another thing with Elliot. I'm sorry, I have to go back to Elliot. He sent me a picture of Alex Trebek in a jock strap. Have you seen this picture? And
no, but I get all my weird pictures from you about like that kind of stuff.
Well, I'll send you the picture. There's a very famous picture of Alex Trebek in a jockstrap. Now, when he sent it to us, Elliot texted, apparently this is real. Dorothy would be very proud of me talking about this because it's Alex Trebek and we know she loves. So this is Golden Girls related in some way. And he was like, apparently this is real. And I was like, there's no way this is real, Elliot. First off, jockstraps didn't look like that in the 80s. Secondly, this is clearly not his body. Like, this is a Photoshop if I've ever seen one. And he's like, no, apparently it's real. And I was like, what makes it real? Tell me the source. Where's the realness of this? And he's like, because the caption says it. And I was like, Elliot, like I had a full-on Dorothy Spornak breakdown of what is happening to society. No one educates, no one researches, no one fact checks. That was me with Elliot. Sorry. That was a tangent.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe you can send it to me before the episode's over so I can react to it.
I'll send it to you now.
So then we meet Frank Nan, the show's director. He drops by. Frank Nan is played by George Hearn, still alive. Amazing.
Yes.
He worked pretty steady since the mid 70s. He did Sweeney Todd, I think like the film version. And great singer.
I didn't mind the film version.
Well, he was in it. And he was also once married to a designing woman. Do you want to guess which one?
Wait, of the 4 main women?
Mm-hmm. He was married to one of them.
Dixie Carter?
Yeah, he was married to Dixie Carter. He was married to Julia Sugarbaker.
No way. That's wild. Before she married, what's his name? The actor. Oh God, what's his name? Into the Wide Open or whatever. Into the Wild. He was in a film called Into the Wild. He's nominated for an Oscar for it. Oh my God, what's his name?
She married Emil Hirsch?
No, he's on the show too. People are dying right now because they're like, we know this actor's name. He's very famous, and I'm an idiot for not remembering his name. But no, they famously had a very Hal Holbrook. Thank you, and I'm sorry to everyone listening.
It's very considerate of you.
Well, because I would be annoyed too, because whatever. I'm on a microphone. It's stressful here. But no, yeah, they had a long relationship, her and Hal. So I guess that was like a brief marriage before Hal.
Yeah, maybe. I think he was very much like Rue McClanahan. I think he was married like 4 or 5 times.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So Frank Nan has come over with kind of some bad news, which is one of the kids came down with the measles, so they have to quarantine the entire cast. And Dorothy,
this happened to you recently, not with measles, but when little Oreo went to preschool for the first time, and then you and Oreo got sick like that first week, and I was like, this is what happens when kids get together.
Yeah, it was her first week of school. And yeah, she got sick, I got sick, and Stan was working and was like, I cannot get sick. So he actually he quarantined himself in the upstairs.
So stressful.
So yeah, there is, when he says that they have to quarantine the entire cast and they may not be able to do the show, whatever. I love the way, it's such a small thing, but Dorothy goes, what are we gonna do?
I love how bothered she is by it, because like, I feel like her reaction is the same reaction that I would have to children, like to an inconvenience of just being around children, which would be like, of course these kids are sick. Kids, like I would definitely, because I mean, as an adult, let's be real, we would probably be like, well, I'll suck it up, it's fine, I'll just go on that one night, it'll be fine, don't worry about it. But with kids, it's like, you got to be careful because they're kids, and then it spreads, and then whatever.
Yeah. And I also think like Dorothy was so excited to put that producer hat on that I think in that, like, being so excited and so proud of being a part of this, that's why her mind jumps right to, well, adults can play the children's roles. We'll just rewrite things and like make brand new costumes instead of, right? Because it's just the first graders who are sick. So you think that they'd be like, well, maybe the second graders can put on the play, or the third or fourth graders.
And
but no, she goes right to like, it needs to be adults, and then like waits for someone to say you should play Turkey Lurkey, and she plays it all like, oh, I don't know.
It's
like,
very I Love
her
Lucy.
plan.
It's very I Love Lucy. I want to be in the show, Ricky, and she'll find a way to be in the show.
Yeah, she was going to find a way to be in the show. There's also a moment in this scene that I think is a testament to the fabulous writing, but also the amazing character development on this show, which is when Frank says, we need to find an adult who has the childlike wonder and naivete of Henny Penny, and Rose walks in. The audience already laughs.
Yeah.
Because she's such a well-developed character. She doesn't even need to say the joke.
Nope.
It's just as soon as she walks in, they laugh because they know Rose Nyland so well. And then, of course, it's so good. And the cherry on top of it is, and the way that Betty White sometimes the emphasis she puts on certain words is so funny. She goes, I just saw a cloud that looks exactly like a cotton ball. Just like when she goes like, and I bought some rum raisin ice cream. I'm like, what an interesting choice to put the emphasis on the words that I don't know. I've never heard anybody else do.
Yeah, I love it though. I love it.
It's interesting. I also love when Blanche comes in and she's like, well, Frank Nan, I haven't seen you since that weekend in Pensacola. And he goes, Goosey Lucy. That's right. We did have fun, squeezy wheezy. Like, oh.
It is. Blanche is so filthy in this episode, and I love it.
So filthy. She has been with so many men, many men.
Yes.
But the highlight of this scene is hearing Dorothy sing. So yes. I feel like we have
it's
to
also
play that
the most
moment.
absurd moment, but we'll talk about that afterwards.
Oh, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Then you're saying you'll do it?
Well, it is my production, and as they say, the show must go on.
Oh, pussycat. It'll be like the old days. Come on. Just one more time.
Get a little drunk, and you land in jail. I still got it.
So, okay. The reason why it's wonderful because we love when B. Arthur sings. We love it.
Always.
Love it. We will never say no to B. Arthur singing. But it also, to me, it was a joke. It was meant to be a joke. Like, it's a funny moment. But then she gets this applause break because, like, the rest, and again, B. Arthur is such an established person in the world that everyone knows she's, you know, from musical theater. They know this background. They know her singing. So, like, they're aware that she does this kind of thing. Thus, it merits an applause. But if it was any other actor doing that, it would just be a laugh break. And that would be the end of it. Whereas, like, when she says, I still got it, which it was a weird singing moment. So when she says, I still got it, because I mean, that it sounds like when I sing badly at the apartment and then I'm like, but I'm a singer. I'm working late. I'm a singer. And which is the Sabrina Carpenter reference. But I do it as a joke. Whereas Blanche and everyone around the couch is just sort of like, yeah, you still got it. You still got it. Like, there's no, like, I wanted Sophia to say something, like, to respond in some way, to be like, well, thank you, Mr. Dorothy, or like some joke to follow that, you know?
Yeah. I also feel like you bring up a good point in that B. Arthur is such a commanding presence that I feel like when B. Arthur sings, you clap. You know what I mean? Like, you clap.
You just clap.
And so, yeah, that I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, they're like applauding and it's not that great. What's the lowest note you can hit? Can you do Land in Jail and see how low you can go?
Wait, what? How's that go?
So she goes, get a little drunk and land in see how low you can. You want me to go first?
Yeah, because I got to work on my voice. Sorry.
Get a little drunk and land in jail.
Yeah, I don't think you can go very low. I don't think you can. Okay, okay.
No.
Get a little drunk and land in jail.
Ooh, there was a little tipping point there at the end.
Yeah.
Wait, clap.
I still got it. And on that literal note, we should take a break.
Great. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Blanche's storyline and Chugger Deets.
Ooh, take it off. Take your top off.
Now, one thing I do remember about the last time we watched this episode with Alaska and Elliot.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Was I remember we had, I feel like, what feels like a very long conversation about the name Chugger Deets.
Oh.
I think Elliot especially was like, well, where did they come up with that name? So if anybody wants, you can go back and listen to that. It was probably like 2018 maybe when
was
we
it really
watched
that
it.
long ago, or did we really
2018
wow.
2019 yeah, was when we had watched it
together. We watched it together, right?
Yeah, no. we all watched it together.
Yeah. Wow.
So Blanche's little storyline. So Chugger Deets, who's the obituary editor at, I don't know, the Miami Herald, whatever they're
like
reading.
In Serendipity with that annoying guy, Jeremy Piven.
Oh,
he's the obituary editor in Serendipity.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen Serendipity.
Or writer. He might be. Oh, Kerri.
I know. I mean, I'm aware of it. I know who's in it.
That's not the same as seeing it. How do you not see Serendipity? It's like the most, like, it's a great film.
I've seen,
Have you been to Serendipity in New York, the cafe?
No. Why?
Oh,
why would I? I haven't seen the movie.
Because
why
the film made
there?
it famous. That's why you go. It made it hot chocolate famous. It's amazing.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, Kerri,
then why would I care?
You have to care.
Oh, what a good burp I just had. So he apparently, Blanche dated him for a little bit and then dumped him. And so to get back at her, he published in the newspaper that she's died at the age of 68.
That feels like it would be illegal.
I was thinking that too.
Like, I mean, if anything, slander, right? Or libel, which is the one that you could, like, if someone says something or prints something of you, I forget the difference. But yeah, like, it feels like something you could sue for.
Yeah. I thought about that and I was like, I was going to ask you because, as a journalist, but I also feel like newspapers print retractions all the time because they made mistakes.
Well, mistakes happen. I mean, they're very common, especially in this era of news where things happen so fast and things get out there so fast, and it's just a fast market. So yeah, retractions happen. That's normal.
But Blanche could definitely prove that point.
Like, yeah, because I mean, this is clearly out of malice. Like, this is clearly a means of because there's no incidence of or indication that she might be dead. So like, why would he do this? And an obituary writer does not just take it upon themselves to be like, I bet she's dead by now. Let's just do that obituary. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Narcissist. But I do love when Blanche is like, what are people gonna think? And Sophia goes, they'll think it's time to elect a new town slut.
It's true. It did make me think while watching this episode how many of my exes hate me.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like, because I mean, clearly this person hates Blanche. And so like it got me thinking, and I feel like most of them probably do, but I also feel like most people do. So maybe that's just something in me.
You think most people hate you?
Well, I think most people think I'm annoying. Yes. Like that's a default mood that I have oftentimes. Like my default going into most situations is, okay, I'm extra. I'm a lot. I'm going to own it. I know I'm fine. I'm a solo party. Trust me, I don't want to hang out with you just as much as you don't want to hang out with me. So we're cool. But I also know I'm kind of annoying. I'm self-aware of that. So like, then I think of my exes, like, wow, they must really think I'm annoying. Because if like a stranger on the street thinks I'm annoying, or someone casually watching a fucking reel thinks I'm annoying, well, then my ex must think I'm annoying because they've seen me naked.
Well,
and that
maybe
must be the most annoying thing possible.
Maybe what you perceive as annoying to other people, your exes actually thought of as really charming and endearing. I've never thought you were annoying.
Well, thank you. I've never thought you were annoying either, but I still think
I love the way you do your butts.
But I still think that, I mean, yeah, so I'm pretty sure they hate me. I mean, sometimes when I get like some comments, because I'll see some, and I'll look in the filters and stuff, and I'll think to myself, is that someone masking themselves or like hiding their, because they know so much, they know something about, you know what I mean? Which I'm also fine with too. Like, girl, go crazy. Everything about me's out there. We're cool. We're cool.
Somebody listening to this was like, oh, I'm caught.
I know. I do love, there's my favorite moment. Speaking of being annoying, my favorite Golden Girls moment ever was on Twitter or something. I forget the platform. Someone said, I really like Out on the Lanai. Kerri's very informative, but HAlanScott is the most annoying, whatever. Like it was something crazy and something ridiculous. They don't know me, whatever. So I replied in a fun tongue-in-cheek way being like, I know, he's such an asshole. I fucking hate him. Wink, wink. And then the person replied back being like, oh my God, I never knew that you would see this. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. Like, it was like the immediate sort of like, because I mean, they didn't think that they were talking about a human. They just think they were talking about robots in their voices or in their ears.
And people hide behind.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Media, and I get that too. I take none of it personally. It's fine. But like that, that's always one of my favorite Golden Girls moments of like fan interactions in that it just, the turnaround was just so silly, and it was like, don't take anything personally. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all marching towards death anyway. So I was like,
wow.
I know. I've had a week.
Yes.
I do love the guy who delivers flowers for Blanche later from Mel Bushman. And he's like, these are for Blanche Devereaux. And Dorothy's like, it's only pronounced that way in limericks. So the thing about the flowers from Mel Bushman, so they come with a note that's like, oh, hearing about your death made me realize you don't know what you've got until you lost it. So I'm back with my ex-wife.
Yeah.
One, I mean, that's exactly what impotent Ernie did to Rose.
Yes.
But also, I feel like Blanche was so good to Mel. Remember when she thought he died and she went over to his house to check on him?
With
and she had all the keys.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait a minute. Why is Mel sending flowers to Blanche after she has died? Like, that's a little weird.
The note was a little weird. The note was a little weird in terms of like who it's addressed to. When in reality, you would send flowers to like her friends and family. You know what I mean? Like you would.
Yeah. Or I'm like, if he's gonna make contact with the house on Richmond Street, maybe ask when the funeral services are so you can attend and pay your respects.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm going to send you a note beyond the grave. And I don't know, maybe upset your roommates who
Never
for
liked
maybe
Mel. Never liked Mel Bushman. Never liked him.
The Bushman awaits.
Yeah.
So anyway, so back to Henny Penny. When we next see the girls, they've been rehearsing for a few days, and Rose is upset because she just learned that at the end of the play, Henny, Turkey, and Lucy fall victim to the insatiable carnivorous urges of Foxy Loxy.
Yeah.
And Dorothy, there's a joke I love so much. Dorothy's like, wait, Rose, why did you wait until now to read to the end of the play? And she says, if there's one thing I remember about my wedding night, it's Charlie telling me it's impolite to peek.
It's so funny.
But then they ended up having sex like twice a day for the next 20 years.
Can you imagine?
No wonder you never watched I Love Lucy.
I honestly don't have that kind of time.
I don't have that kind of time. I don't
even want that. Like, just send me a picture. God.
2 times a day for like how many years?
Send me a picture 2 times a day. We'll call it a day. Yeah.
So let me ask you about, like, do you think Rose is overreacting? Like, do you think it's fucked up to show first graders what Rose describes as a, quote, horror story of unprovoked violence and ghastly death?
Yeah, no, I don't. I think she is overreacting, but I'm not surprised that Rose is overreacting. I'm not one. I firmly believe in we live in a triggered society that is maybe a little too triggered, and sometimes it is good to have some surprising realities hit our lenses. I mean, I think about my childhood, and did I turn out, yeah, sure, I'm annoying, but did I turn out fine? I turned out fine. So like, I think there are some times, and I even get this too, where, with some posts or with some Instagram stuff, there's always like, there's trigger warnings and stuff. And I'm just sort of like, we can have hard conversations. It's where we're faced with them every single day. Trust me, I look at my bank account a lot of days and it's a horror show. So like, the triggered realities are a reality, and it's okay to see that sometimes. So yeah, I think it's okay for kids to see that the animal kingdom can be a little gruesome.
I agree. I think at least for me personally, I feel like my job as a parent isn't to try to shield my child from the harsh realities of the world, but to prepare her on how to deal with it.
Exactly. Totally.
Because it's going to happen regardless.
1000%. Yes, that is exactly what I think. That is what we need. We need that from parents. We need it from schools. We need it from teachers. That's why inclusive, I think, education is so important on all subjects and all areas. That's why having interesting conversations with people who believe politically differently from you is important. All of these things are good because then it prevents you from feeling so triggered. Now, to that point, I will say there are some topics that maybe do need a trigger warning, and I think those are fine. And it's because I don't want to go into a fucking like half-hour sitcom and have it be about something shocking and disturbing and have it be completely opposite of what that sitcom's about. I would have liked the heads up, so that maybe my night wasn't ruined. Sometimes an example of this is Michael loves some movies that are very disturbing to me, in that I'm not in the mood to watch them. For example, he loves The Pianist, which is a beautiful film, horrible story about the Holocaust, a beautiful film. I don't want to watch it on like a Saturday night. Like, I don't. That to me is a trigger warning that I'm like, nah, I think I'm going to pass on that one. I'm going to go watch some Housewives or something to get my mind off the realities of the world a little bit. So those are the things that I'm like, yeah, okay, I need a trigger warning. I need a warning before that press play,
That's funny. Stan and I had like that same thing the other night. I was having like a really, really bad day. Like I was telling you offline, I have some family in the hospital, maybe whatever.
Yeah.
And Stan was like, let's put on a movie. And he's looking, and I'm just kind of like dicking around on my phone, and he goes, and I was like, oh, he found something fun. And he goes, do you want to watch The Shawshank Redemption? I was like, in which the main thematic question asked is, can hope survive when all is lost? I was like, no, I don't. But he was so genuine. And he was like,
so
okay.
funny.
And he's like,
It is a great film.
How about Pirates of the Caribbean? And I was great.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I don't really like Pirates of the Caribbean, but that's another podcast.
Oh, I loved it. I realized I'd never seen it in full, and I really enjoyed it. And now I want to watch all the other ones.
They're fun. I don't pay attention to them, but yeah.
Oh, I had a great time.
Good.
I love the name of Rose's fairy tales that she had growing up. Now, when we talk about like Golden Girls books and stuff, when you want to talk about somebody having a super niche, like inside baseball-y book, somebody needs to write like St. Olaf's, like a Grimm's fairy tales with Gus in the recliner, Gunilla gets a catalog, and Ilsa, the girl who could make bad food good. Someone, please. Chris Gallo, Kevin Kline, one of our GG VIP friends. Anyway, I was like, Gus in the recliner, Gunilla gets a catalog. Like, those must have been so fun for the writers to pitch.
I love them. Chris Gallo and Kevin Kline. Guys, more people need to love on them too. Chris Gallo and Kevin Kline. Go give them a follows and everything because they're both fantastic and I love them. And they're cutie patooties
and Mike
too.
Dennison, who's
Dennison too, another cutie
Drew
patootie.
B. Arthur, every day for a year.
Why are Golden Girls people so cute?
Mm-hmm. Cute and very nice.
Yes.
So Blanche and Dorothy finally convince Rose to do the show for the children. And she says she'll do it, but not just for the kids, because she also wants to give back to the chicken community. And she said, after all, a chicken once saved my life. Put that on a bumper sticker for me. I want that. A chicken once saved my life. How many people would pull up beside you and be like, I have to know?
Oh my God, this is also off topic, I'm sorry, but on the same random lines, I just did a reel or like a story on my Instagram about a thing that happened at the doctor where he said I wasn't obese anymore. And I was like, what? That's not true. and then the point of the story is that
I don't know why I'm laughing, but
I know
it was funny when you said
reel.
that.
You can go watch it. I posted it when this airs yesterday. And in the doctor situation, the nurse who weighed me got 2 numbers wrong, and so I looked like I had lost like 60 pounds when in reality I had just lost like 20 pounds, which is still great.
Yeah, that is still great.
But he was like, yeah, so you're no longer obese. And I was like, that's not accurate, actually. I don't feel like that's accurate. I don't weigh myself, but I don't feel like that is accurate. And he was like, no. And then I was like, no, go check the numbers. And me ordering a doctor around. And he goes and he checks with the nurse, and then the nurse, is like, oh yeah, no, it's whatever. I'm not telling you the number. And he came back and he was like, well, you're at a different stage of obese. And I was like, nah. We don't need, you don't need to soften it now to make like your mistake even better here. It's fine. But at the end of the video, I said, and I'm still obese, in a really happy way. And I've been getting all these replies being like, can we have that on a shirt? Can we have that on a bumper sticker? And I'm still obese.
With like 3 exclamation points. Oh, doctor, just be like, I fucked up.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm fine with it. And then I found myself, this is the fucked up thing that I posted to close friends, but I like, the close friends on whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, in the process of him realizing this mistake, I felt his uncomfort. I felt him being uncomfortable. I wasn't uncomfortable. I'm totally comfortable in my body and my weight and where I'm at. But like, he was very uncomfortable in this moment. And so here I am basically doing a stand-up routine to make him feel better about his own mistake that I didn't even do. Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do in those moments? You just like, okay, I'm just going to let you have this moment. So, okay.
It reminded me of Sex and the City when you don't know it, but Miranda, there's an episode.
Excuse me. I watched that entire show and the 2 movies when I was pregnant.
Well, okay, great. So
but try me, because I only watched it once.
Do you remember the episode where Miranda goes to Weight Watchers to lose the baby weight, and she meets the guy, and they go get the donut?
Nope.
Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. So the exact same thing happened in that episode where the Weight Watchers person got Miranda's weight wrong, and then she's like, no, if I'm going to do this right, I'm going to do it right. And so then the woman, she gets back on the scale, and the woman goes, Lorraine, you got it wrong. She's 150. Whatever, not 140, whatever it was. Yeah, so I felt like that in that moment.
Real Sex in the City moment.
Yeah. And maybe want a donut.
That does sound really good right now.
Yeah.
So now it's the day of the production. I'm getting us back on track because of time. So when Sophia comes out as sexy Peter Pan, I thought it was really fun to hear a combination of the audience cheering, but also like the first grade audience cheering and laughing.
Yeah.
But then if you notice for the rest of the production, only the studio audience laughs and reacts, which means the children never laughed or cheered throughout the entire play until the very end, which probably means that they didn't like it, and is probably why they didn't clap at the end to save the women from being eaten by Foxy Loxy.
Because they want to see the murder.
Yeah, they want to see the carnage. These children are playing.
These children are Lord
video
of the Rings.
games.
Yeah, they've seen worse than this play. Trust me.
Yeah. So I was just like, that's so funny. You have these adults and they can't even make first graders laugh.
No.
One thing I also loved about their costumes
were so good.
They're so great. And I wonder if these were made by Judy Evans or if they had a theater costumer.
I feel like
these
were probably rentals. I feel like they had, because they're so ornate. You know what I mean? They're so like, it seems like it wouldn't be something that you could just whip up, you know?
Maybe, but then they would have to fit them to the women. Definitely.
That's true. That is true. Maybe.
I have a feeling they made them. Season 6, they had money. I think
that's true.
I did like that they had props that were a fun nod to the characters themselves. Like Lucy Goosey had the hand mirror, like the one that Blanche looks over to see like her face drooping in like season 1. And then Dorothy as Turkey Lurkey was holding a book. I was like, oh, that's fun. They're
just love the dress up moment. It was just a fun dress up moment. Yeah. You know, very Halloween-y.
Have we seen Henny Penny costumes at Golden Con yet? I don't know that we have.
Oh, I'm sure we have. We just don't remember them. I mean, I feel like that's a classic costume that has to have been there. Anyone listening who went to Golden Con with us, let us know. And if you're the one with a picture of you in it, please tag us so we can repost it.
Yeah, because I would love to see that.
Same.
Another little detail I loved about the Henny Penny performance was their distinct walks. Every time they sort of walked to a new like as chickens. I appreciated that. That was I've been teaching a pilot writing class, and one of my students told me that, so she went to a conservatory, she was like, it cost so much money. And she's like, we spent an entire semester like going to the zoo and studying animals and getting on our like fucking hands and knees and pretending to be gorillas. And I was like, I just spent $30,000 to pretend to be a gorilla. Like, this is insane. Yeah. So anyway, that's sort of what it made me think of, is like, hey, here's how you walk like a chicken. And now we have to play a moment of them singing because we have to.
Help! Disaster is near. Help!
We're trembling with fear.
Help! The outlook is drear. We're dreading Armageddon may disrupt our career.
That's all we can do. Sorry, y'all. But no, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's just so good. It's just so good. Help.
I do love at the end, they do come together for a beautiful harmony.
I do.
That I really liked.
I just like the whole thing. It's fun. And I love when he came out with the fork and the knife. It's cute. It's theater. It's campy. It's really, really cute. I liked, there were a couple of nods to Peter Pan in this. Like, obviously, Sophia was dressed like sexy Peter Pan. And then Rose, when Foxy Loxy goes to eat them, runs out in a real like clap to save us Tinkerbell move, which no, I will not talk about being Tinkerbell and people fucking in my clock, because I know I've talked about that like 9 times on the podcast. Definitely you brought it up, not me.
We've watched this episode. No, I know, but that's where my brain goes. It's like, oh, I'm mentioning Peter Pan, Tinkerbell. Oh, I know I've told the story a million times.
Mine just goes to how Disney doesn't put out enough Tinkerbell merch. There's just not enough of it.
Does she still fly over the like the castle and stuff?
Yes, wow. Of course. Yes.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
I also love when Rose gets, I guess she's like kind of petty in these moments. Like,
yeah.
She's like Lori petty. She's so petty.
No, it's true. It switches from activist to petty. Like when you don't believe in something as strongly as she does, she turns angry. And And I love that.
And then she also 180s.
Yeah.
Like she's like, we have to protect the kids. And then when the kids don't want to save her, she's like, there are monsters living under all your beds.
I love it. I love it. Sometimes they just got to learn, who's the baddest bitch in the room? Rose Nyland.
Yep. And that line, of course, is what launched the movie Monsters, Inc.
There you go.
Pixar. Yep.
There you go. There you go.
So,
Disney.
So that's the performance.
Yeah.
And despite the lackluster response from the first grade audience, according to the elementary school paper that Dorothy excitedly brings in the next day, the show was a big hit.
Yeah.
I find that very hard to believe.
But also I feel like the journalism in the elementary school paper is probably more People Magazine and less New Yorker. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that Dorothy actually submitted the review.
What if Dorothy wrote it for
well,
the
that's what I'm
journalist?
saying. I kind of think Dorothy wrote it, right? Because there were kind of two clues to that. One is that she calls out her own performance. It says, the actors were good, especially Turkey Lurkey. And then second, it said, my friends and I liked it. A first grader wouldn't say my friends and I.
No,
They'd say me and my friends liked it. Dorothy wrote it. Dorothy totally
is Dorothy's
once
deep
again,
throat. Dorothy's deep throat.
She goodbye Mr.
Watergate
Gordon,
reference.
a child, and
Yep.
wrote their review for
Yep.
her own
Yep.
while looking fabulous in a brown and purple track
Fabulous.
jacket.
I mean, literally, my favorite moment, though, one of my favorite moments in this episode is the last moment, last moment of the episode when Blanche walks out in the costume to obviously go have sexy, sexy fun.
Yeah, spring break comes but once a year.
I mean, it's just so, I love, this episode is so campy fun on a level that is just ridiculous. And it makes me, it's the level of joy that it brings me. This is a regular watch because it's just so much fun.
It's fun. Oh, it's so fun. I love it.
Should we take a golden takeaway? Because my golden takeaway is something that some people have been asking for.
Ooh, yes. Let us take a break and come back with some GTs.
Mm-hmm. And we are back with our golden takeaways, which is a nugget of truth or inspiration that you can apply to your life. If you're watching, you're seeing me point at you, or the life of our listeners. Kerri, Doherty, Bush, Spornak, Resnick, what is your golden takeaway from this episode?
I'm actually dying to know yours first because you hinted at it and now I need to know.
Well, because on the podcast, I often ridiculously show products and show the things that I'm putting on my face during the episode. Some people have been asking, oh, you should do like a makeup thing. You should do a makeup thing. So I'm not doing a makeup thing, but I am doing a watch me put my makeup on while I talk about shit thing on my YouTube, which I think is just youtube.com/HAlanScott. And I think it goes up tomorrow. I'm not sure, but we're going to start doing that where you can just sit there and watch me do whatever I do on my YouTube, which I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's just me putting on makeup, talking about the most random shit possible. Usually people I'm either interviewing, like on this first one, I'm talking about how I interviewed Bridget Everett today. And also I talked about Sarah Paulson, my chat with her. So yeah, it's just lots. And the Joker, I talked about the Joker. So like just talking about lots of things while I put on the face that I have right now, literally right now, because I was like, well, I don't want to do a lot of effort. I don't want to like put a lot of effort into like coming up with great YouTube ideas. So why not just sit down and do the thing that I would do anyway, which is put my face on before I have to do interviews and before I have to record and before I have to go anywhere, like put the things together that I do and then just talk while I'm doing it. So that's what it is.
I love that. I think that's a really fun idea for YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And I've seen you putting on some of that stuff sometimes, and I really enjoy it because I like to know how to have shiny skin.
Yeah.
When you say the Joker, do you mean like your Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, the film The Joker and how bad it was.
Mm.
It was so bad.
There's a great, I'm like, should this be my golden? No. Well, I'll just say there's a great, one of my favorite YouTubers is Jenny Nicholson, which if anybody's like, wait, what is that name? She's been famous for a long time in the YouTube community, but she did like a 3-hour video review of the Disney hotel of the Star Wars hotel. the Star Wars Hotel.
Ooh, I love that.
But she
Which they're closing, or they've already closed.
It's already closed. It closed very quickly. But she has one video that's just called, "Well, I didn't like Joker," and it's a very funny. It's very, very funny. She also her review of Dear Evan Hansen, the movie.
Oh, such a good. You know, I had
is
to
actually
interview
probably
him.
my favorite video of hers.
I had to interview him for that movie. I'm not going to say anything bad, but I'm just going to say I'm a professional.
It should have gone to a younger actor. I'm saying.
I didn't say any of that. I didn't say any of that. But that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Well, my golden takeaway is going to be to send everybody to Jenny Nicholson's review of Dear Evan Hansen, the movie. That's actually just going to be my golden takeaway now, because you want to talk about
that. That's fun. Yeah, we'll put both. We'll put the link to my YouTube in the thingy, and then her YouTube in the thingy. Yeah.
Yes.
The thingy being the show notes, the things that you can go to while you're listening to this. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Yes. No, you got it. You got it. Everybody, this has been another episode of Out on the Lanai. Remember, you can join the GGVIP Club at patreon.com/Golden Girls Podcast. And thank you all so much for listening. We're so happy to be a part of the GG community.
I'm playing with my curls. Guys, we're also part of Mom, Moguls of Media. So you can go support Mom Plus and all the things that Mom is creating. And you can follow us on the socials. Please do, because it's fun, you know. You can follow us on the Facebooks at Golden Girls Pod, on Golden Girls Pod on Twitter, Out on the Lanai Official on Instagram, and I am HAlanScott / Sadie Pines on everything.
I am Squidsy on Instagram, Squid Eat Squid on Twitter, and if you want to do something else nice for the podcast, you can leave us a rating and review wherever you get this podcast. It really does help us.
It helps us.
Yes.
It helps us so much, and we like to have authentic reviews. Wink, wink. So thank you for listening. And remember,
as always,
stay golden.
Out on the Lanai is not endorsed by Whit Thomas Harris Productions, Touchstone Television, Disney, or any of its subsidiaries. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only.
All names, pictures, audio, and video clips of the Golden Girls are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and/or copyright holders.